Greetings. I thought time for a new video, and I just thought I'd start with just a little guided tour around my own channel. So if you're on the home page, I want you to go across to playlists. There we go. Now I've put all my own videos into a series, into a collection, maximum about 25 videos. You've got the Awakening and various other ones, but more importantly there's some other things in here. Now this is probably the one I would suggest you go to before anything else. I've called it the first place to start on your journey, a reminder. Now there's two excellent videos there. They're children's stories, but they're simple, they make most sense. It's baby steps after all. So we go back to the playlists. Now I've put in here the first three books so far of the Ringing Cedars of Russia series, the Anastasia books. Now I am of the firm belief and feeling that Anastasia is the last real human being. It sounds like a fantastical tale, but I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. There's some other things I'd like to bring your attention to here. I've only got one video in this so far. It's called Legalese and Language. It is a talk or a lecture by a 92nd degree Mason, and he explains how courts work on verbs, which is very interesting because when you think in terms, verbs are actions, and often actions do not match words. Well, what about from verbs? You've also got reverb, reverberation. Now if we take the R to be an R sound, with the vowel shift, the A, which has become an E, so it becomes reverb, should perhaps be a ray-verb. I'll come back to that a little bit more later. Now, with all that's going on in the external shadow projection world, all around you is what most people will consider to be the end of days, the apocalypse, and so on and so on. Well, you've got four wonderful audio books within this one, the Book of Revelations and its True Meaning. So there's Edgar Casey's take on this, Neville Goddard's take on this, Manly P. Hall, and I've also included Neville Goddard's The Last Days. So do have a listen to that one. Leading on from that as well, this is all to benefit all of us. I'm just sharing what I've found. I'm still expanding this one, the key to finding oneself. So again, Neville Goddard, The Feeling is the Secret. Joseph Benner, The Way Beyond. The Impersonal Life, The Way to the Kingdom. Now the Joseph Benner, I would seriously recommend really absorb this and anything Neville Goddard says in any of the many videos you can find on him. But the impersonal life, this is what we are supposed to be leading, and that is basically, it's 4 hours 44 minutes. I can't recommend this enough, but it's basically a prelude to The Way to the Kingdom, which is 10 hours long, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Now, I was sent this, and this is a very good reminder. Understanding yourself and how everything ties in is this video here. Hold on. It's Santos Bonacci, The Sacred Secret of the Christ Within. Now, that will give you an excellent brief 30-minute breakdown on the human vessel and what part that plays in all of this. So do listen to that. Now, amazingly, I listened to this again today, and what Santos is talking about, let's see if I can find something to illustrate. Here we are. Now, the cerebellum, it's the man brain, it's the magnetic portion, the desire. So the oil within us. Sorry about that, it's rather oversensitive. Actually, that's basically all you are. This is such a wonderful short radio presentation with illustrations. This is another bit that ties it all in together. This is basically all you are. There's your 33 degrees. There are where you need to raise that Christ oil back up here. Now there's your man brain. Now that's the one that's going to trick you into the material world, collecting things, hoarding things, and so on and so on. Anything but get you to go within. And it was rather amazing. This is the beauty of how things work, how everything comes together, was this post. This is basically replicating the same design that what Santos talks about human physiology. The only bird that dares to peck at an eagle is the crow. He sits on his back and bites his neck. However, the eagle does not respond nor fight with the crow. It doesn't waste time or energy on the crow. It simply opens its wings and begins to rise higher in the heavens. You heave up, as Santos says, you heave up that Christ oil, that chrism oil within inside us, back into the heavens which are within your skull. The higher the flight, the harder it is for the crow to breathe, and then the crow falls due to the lack of oxygen. Stop wasting your time with crows. Thank you, Christina Brady, for posting that up. The timing of that, well, it just shows what a wonder. The synchronicity of everything, how all this comes together. I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't for all these little bits tying together today. But I also want you to, let's go back to the home page here. There's another channel I want to bring your attention to, and again, it depends what you want to look into. Only you can gauge for yourself what you want to really know about. Now, I can't stress enough that it is all about knowing yourself, knowing the purpose that you're here for. But if you want to look into the supposed history, well, a Plain Truth 7 channel. Now this latest video, how the One World Tatarians likely harnessed energy. Now that is really worth looking at. To get, if you want to have an understanding about the external world and the history. Now I'm going to go on a little and take this, notch this up a bit further. I mean, the saying is there's no toilets in Tataria, and it is suggested that we were breatharians, we took in sunlight, and our diets and everything were totally different from today. The whole aspect of the giants is very easy to explain when you consider how much greener the earth was at one time, therefore more oxygen, everything grows relative to the amount of oxygen. This is proven and has been proven over and over again with high doses of oxygen, with experiments with slugs, how they will suddenly grow that much bigger. If there is more oxygen on the earth, then everything will scale up in relative to each other. But how would a world civilization like that fall? Well, the answer again is shown to me just by looking out the window, and this occurred to me only today. I'd had this idea anyway, partly from reading the Anastasia books. Now we're in one of the ember months, so called because it is the dying embers of the sun as we go into 7 ember, 8 ember, November, which is 9 ember, and 10 ember. Then of course you've got the midpoint just after the winter solstice. Now you can look both ways. There's your two-headed god Janus. You're looking back at the past, into the dead of winter, you're looking forward to the regrowth. Now, if I was to come out here 6 months ago and show you this same scene, it would be teeming with life, with insects, with birds. But now we are in November, there is very little activity. So what I'm thinking, following on from the Anastasia books, is that at one time humans hibernated, and I'm suggesting a third of your life is in sleep, so a third of your year would be in sleep, which means we would probably all have hibernated for 4 months. So these what you see as high street banks were probably energy banks. A lot of these buildings, these ancient cathedrals and things, were probably for the hibernation. Connected with the churches, it's all about birth and it's all about baptism. I am pretty certain that that is where birth of new life took place, within water. The umbilical cord would no doubt have been able to have been left to fall off naturally. I would imagine even the process of going from breathing through water to breathing oxygen in the air like we do now would have been very different as well. And I don't think it is that long ago. I know this is all the external world, but while we are in this reality, then let's have a greater understanding of it. We do have the ability to reverse engineer, as it says in scripture, when two or more gather. When we all start putting our collective thoughts together, we are reverse engineering. I mean, it's up to you how much you want to look into Tartaria and any of the other subjects that are classed as conspiracy theories. That all they're really going to show you is everything is a lie. It just depends on your curiosity. There's no right or wrong to that, and I take my hat off to those people like Martin Leaker, John Levi, UAP Channel, Jamie Lee, which is A Plain Truth 7, Matt of Quantum Conscience, and many, many more that have given up their time to share things that are showing things aren't right, whether it's from the truth seeking or the spiritual. It is all building a bigger picture for us to understand. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to the key questions. What do you want out of this reality? It is a dream within a dream. Life is but a dream. Joseph is the dreamer. They are, every character in that story from Genesis to Revelation is an eternal state that we go through. Well, Jacob goes up to a place called pineal. Well, it's the pineal gland. That's where the heavens are. That is where you will find God. God is dreaming through us. We are an aspect of the Creator. The Creator is experiencing that dream. This awakening has a far deeper meaning than I think we realise. But this is a wonderful journey, and I'm out here with no coat on. All I've got is the usual shirts that feature in many videos, and it's not a bit cold for November. It's absolutely amazing, and it's so beautifully peaceful and quiet. And even at this time of year, I mean, it's still got life, still got things in flower. The beautiful accidental here. I mean, it's funny, it looks a lot more sort of violet through the camera than what I'm seeing with my eyes. It's more a blue, but it's wonderful. Everything is wonderful. It just depends on your perspective, what you want to see. But if you want to take in all that external fear, that mirror, shadow world, then you're going to feel fear. But look past it. To look past it, it's as above, so below. So if you want to find out about out there, then you need to go within. That is the place where all the answers are. It's just unlocking it. So please do look through that playlist. I will be adding in more videos, and I will give announcements as I add in more. There's a whole load of Neville Goddard lectures that are really worth listening to. Some will resonate more than with others. I mean, there was a time I would have totally dismissed the Bible, but there is a silver thread that runs through everything. I'm going to start putting together some things I'm putting into practice, and just take from it what you want, what works best for you. Adapt whatever technique works best for you. There's no hard and fast rule. At the end of the day, the only person that is going to do it for you is you. So I shall say ta-ta for now. Look, even this is a patch of blue up there. It's all really good. This looks horribly dark looking through the screen here, but it's not as dark. It's just the way the camera, there we go, it's lightened up again. But yeah, hopefully this has lifted a few spirits. I know how at the moment it can feel so oppressive and awful, but we're right in the depths of things at the moment. But it's a perfect time to start using the time wisely, finding out for yourself about yourself, and things will change dramatically. The weight of the world will come off your shoulders. There are many characters we can play, as I've said before. Do you want to play Atlas, carrying the weight of the world? Or do you want to put that ball down and start growing? Because it is a fantastic voyage, and we can wake up in the dream, and we can literally and figuratively change this reality into something how we want it, because we are, after all, co-creators. Ta-ta for now.